welcome to the garden. Today I'm kind of planning things out a little bit on how I want the garden to look long term. And we're doing it like a painting or a sculpture. We're building it from the back forward. We can blend the colors together to really get a beautiful natural effect. We're also going to split things up, space them out so that we have less gaps like this and more continuous kind of organic curves and waves of color. These orange coneflower or black-eyed Susan I think are a little bit too close to the edge. I do like them, but I want the blue bugle to be right along the border, and I want to move these back just a foot or two, just about where these Echinacea are, or purple coneflower. So we're going to start by moving these back and filling in little gaps like back in there. And also a few gaps in here, because we can actually divide these as we transplant them. There's another orange coneflower cluster behind the purple right there, and another one back here that are a little difficult to see because they're actually about a foot shorter than the purple ones. So I want to bring those forward, like these ones. These are perfect. They're the perfect height and just that vivid color. Actually got a little tree frog on this one right now. What a beauty. I'm actually going to start by digging the first initial holes so that we can leapfrog our flowers. We're going to move the Echinacea back here, and then we're going to move the black-eyed Susans to where the Echinacea were. Then we can move something to where the black-eyed Susans were. At this point, they're in full bloom. And usually you want to wait until after they've bloomed, or really early in spring before they flower to transplant. But we want to be extra careful. So to be extra careful with these flowers, we want to give them a nice wide berth. So I'm going to cut around maybe 6 inches from the edge of the plant. So we're going to end up with about a 1 foot wide swath of soil. And we can go through that later and split them apart a little bit more gently. But just for starters, you just want to come around and loosen them up a bit. I'm only going to dig down about 8 inches. And we'll just work around in a circle until we've loosened the plant. So we're getting close, and I think we're free. So let's take this back and see if we can divide it. I don't want to be splitting this in half by cutting it. I would much rather keep it whole than risk damaging it. But I think this little portion at the edge we might be able to separate. I think it's attached at the root. So in this clump, we're just going to have to keep it whole. Make sure to pile that soil up nice and high. There we go. And then we'll just water these in really well and start working on the black-eyed Susan. So let's just go over everything we did. This is a brand new patch. We moved back a couple feet. I think it feels more natural there, and it isn't quite encroaching so much. Then the patch that was there, we spread out over here, and another patch there, and a few more dotted throughout. So we really got a lot of mileage out of those clusters. That was the original cluster that all the Echinacea flowers came from. These huge clusters at the back I grew from seed from this patch in the front. But we still kept this little cluster here, so that looks really nice. I think that's just far enough back to where it's not going to be blocking out these black-eyed Susan. And then we filled in, all these are new, all these are new, these are new. These ones were already here, so that helped kind of tie in that line. But I did put these daisy-type flowers here, so that'll help fill in this low area. And I do want to transplant some more blue bugle anywhere where we've kind of loosened it up, like this patch here. So I am just super happy with what we've done today. I'm going to make sure to give everything a really, really good soak. I've watered everything once, but we're going to water everything multiple times because I'm seeing some drooping, and that's really normal. It's nothing to really worry about. Anytime you transplant flowers that are in full bloom, you're going to get this drooping effect, which is why it's best to usually wait till they're done or do it before they flower. But I really wanted to get this done now so that we could see the height and the brilliant colors. And I think it looks absolutely stunning. This is one of our fresh transplants from just last night. And it looks to be producing nectar just fine. So by being extra careful when we transplanted, I think we've made the pollinators really happy. And I think the neighbors are going to be happy too, because the garden looks better than ever. I'm certainly really happy with it. I think it looks incredible. But the other day when we transplanted all our coneflowers and things, I moved some of the shorter black-eyed Susans from way in the back where you could hardly see them into a sort of a row towards the front. So if we look at it from here, you can really see this beautiful row of black-eyed Susans and then a beautiful wall of Echinacea at the back. So that's kind of why we moved those ones from up here. A little bit more consistent. I think it looks nice and natural, and it'll naturalize over time too. They'll kind of blend together, which is really nice. And next year especially is going to look phenomenal. So I really hope you stay tuned for that. Maybe give this a go in your own garden. Think about it like a painting. The colors, the heights, the textures. Everything adds up into this beautiful, sort of a canvas of brilliant colors. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.